Okay, we are on 3.4, using the Pythagorean relationship, on page 11 of your Math 8 booklet for Unit 1. Our learning goal is to use the Pythagorean theorem relationship to determine the missing side length of a right triangle. We've already been working through this. Recall that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You're going to want to underline or highlight that formula, because I need to see it on every single question you do. Again, this means that the sum of the squares of the two shorter legs of a right triangle will add to the squares of the longest side, the hypotenuse. We will need to bring back our understanding of squares and square roots. So in example 1, some of you have done this before, but I want you to make sure that you have all of the steps that I have. Example 1, determine the missing side length of the following right triangles and round to the nearest tenth if needed. My formula is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I'm writing, you are writing if you don't have this down. C is always going to be the hypotenuse, the longest side, so I am solving for C. This is my A and B. You could write it either way, it doesn't matter. So now I'm going to write 3 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. 3 squared is 9, plus 4 squared is 16, equals c squared. 9 plus 16 is 25, equals c squared. And now I need to find the square root to find the side length. Right now, this is the area of the square. If I had a square drawn out attached to this, it is 25 centimeters squared. I need to find the square root, the side length. So I'm going to square root. I can either use the square root button on my calculator, so second function, and then find the little square root. Square root of 25 equals 5, or know that 5 times 5 equals 25, so 5 equals C. I need to see all these steps to get 100% on this question. Make sure you have that copied down. Okay, question B. Oh, this is a difficult looking triangle. I'm not sure why it didn't print the same way that my document looks. So this is actually supposed to look like a triangle like this. So I have my right angle right here, and then my hypotenuse here. So here I have 6 centimeters and 8 centimeters. I need to find my hypotenuse, C. Same steps apply. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. 6 squared plus 8 squared equals c squared. 6 times 6 is 36, plus 8 times 8 is 64, equals c squared. 36 plus 64, 100, equals c squared. Find the square root. What number times itself equals 100? 10. Centimeters. I should also be adding in my units. 5 centimeters. So these two triangles you should have seen lots already. Okay, question C looks a little bit different. So I have 12 centimeters and 13 centimeters, and I need to find this side length. I'm going to write out my formula. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I have 12 centimeters plus, well, wait. Which of these is my c? Which is the hypotenuse? The hypotenuse is always going to be the longest side. The side is the longest. The hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle. This is C. I already have C squared, so I need to find B squared. Twelve times 12 is 144 plus B squared equals 13 times 13, 169. I need to get B by itself. So I have to subtract on both sides because I cannot add these two squares together to get this side length. This side length cannot be bigger than my hypotenuse. So I'm going to subtract. B squared equals, what's 169 minus 144? 25. And oh look, I need to find the side length of B. I've already found the square root of 25. B equals 5 centimeters. So make sure in this example you're copying down these steps. This will help you with your textbook questions. 12 centimeters squared plus B squared equals 13 centimeters squared. 144 plus B squared equals 169. I need to subtract on both sides to get B squared by itself to find the smaller side length. Okay, I'm going to ask that you pause the video here and complete D on your own. Again, you are doing A squared plus B squared equals C squared, but here we have the hypotenuse, we have C, we need to find what B is. Fill in your formula. So I'm going to ask the teacher to pause right here, and then we'll come back. Okay, in the next step, we have 10 squared plus B squared equals 14 squared. 10 times 10 is 100 plus B squared equals 196. 14 times 14. I need to get B squared by itself. So what does B squared equal? I'm going to subtract 100 on this side, subtract 100 on this side. B squared equals 96. So I'm going to find the square root. 96 is not a perfect square, so I'm going to put that into my calculator. So second function, square root button, 96. 9.79795. It asked me to round to the nearest tenth if needed. So 9.79. And look at the 9. Tells me to round up. 9.8. B equals 9.8 centimeters. And that is example 1.